It's now generating more revenue than it has been generating during the 20th century. And when you find a way to merge both, it gets explosive. Whitney Houston, Nirvana, Coldplay, Queen, you wonder what they have in common. All of them have songs that have lived far beyond their release. Welcome, it's William, I'm the CEO of Bolero. Today we're gonna dive into the fascinating world of the song life cycles. Contrary to the popular belief, a song doesn't vanish 3 months after its release. Songs experience life cycles through which they get to different points of inflection and growth. And they can even find a new life decades after their release. So how is it possible? Simply because they're going through 5 typical stages. The first stage of a song life cycle is the promotion. It starts at the release to 3 months after the release. This is when the record label, the publishers, the artists are going to put a lot of efforts to make the song discovered and to get an audience so that the artist can find his public. This is when they grab attention and maximize the early listeners. And after 3 months, it gets into the peak listening period that goes from 3 months to 9 months. If the song is successful, it reaches a peak in streams, sales, and radio broadcast. Most of the time during this period, the song is helped by the artist going on tour, going to festivals, and basically a new audience discovering the songs. After those 9 months, we can get to the period called the saturation stage. It's going from the 9th month after the release to the 18 months. This is when the streams stabilize or slightly decrease over time. A common fact happening during the saturation stage is that because a lot of different artists are releasing new records, new projects, then you've got a competition ahead of you. So your record can get less and less listened to. So reaching those 18 months, this is where it gets interesting. The record becomes now part of the back catalog. So during the first 18 months, it was considered front catalog, and now it's getting to the shape of the back catalog. So the back catalog is actually gathering all the records that are now the most recent releases for a specific artist. And why is it interesting? Because it's the moment where the record will find its floor of listening. What is the floor of listening? It's pretty easy. At the era of the streaming platforms and digital consumption, the songs are not vanishing. This is a really important concept to understand. After going through a lot of marketing boosts and a lot of discovery, now the song remains with its most engaged audience, and the floor of listening consists of an amount of streams that will never fluctuate from 1 week to another. And every record, every song is getting to that stage at some point. And so this is when the record label, the publishers are doing their best. So they will try actually to put the record into new movies, new TV shows, new commercials, so that the song can still last through the years and find new moments of popularity. If they succeed, then 5 years after the release of the record, it can get longevity. But if they don't, then the song, the record will go to the obscurity stage of its life. This is a binary milestone through which either your song becomes a classic for a specific part of the population, either it becomes a hit that will remain on the radio, in the playlist, and will still be pushed by the algorithm, either it will be forgotten. So these 5 stages of a song's life cycle can actually vary in time, in length. It depends of the artist, what kind of category it belongs to, but ultimately every song are going through those 5 stages. So now let's get into the stages with examples that everybody know. First one, I Will Always Love You, a song that everybody discovered thanks to Whitney Houston in 1992. It is Dolly Parton who actually wrote this song in 1973. But the thing is, everybody knows that song thanks to Whitney Houston. And this is a proper example through which a song that has not discovered yet his public because of the first version can have a long everlasting lifetime value thanks to a new cover or a new version by another artist. Another good example is Where Did You Sleep Last Night? Version played by Nirvana and Kurt Cobain during the MTV Unplugged episode was clearly made the song mainstream, but it was in 1993, and the fact is that the song was actually composed by Lead Belly in 1944. My girl don't lie to me. So here, you can emphasize that nearly 50 years were necessary for the song to become popular, and it was definitely through another version. So you got songs that rediscover a life of success thanks to other artists. One of the common levers that record labels and publishers use is also what we call synchronization. So the simple process of putting a song into a movie, a TV show, or a commercial. We've made a video about that and all the revenue sources for each music right. If you want to understand that, save it for later. Through synchronization, several songs can be discovered by a totally new audience. The first example we like is Running Up That Hill by Kate Bush.
If only could, I'd make a deal with God, and I'd get him to
The song was written and recorded in 1985, but it became really popular and mainstream in 2022 when it landed into Stranger Things, the famous Netflix TV show. 38 years after its release, it became one of the most popular songs on the Spotify Top Viral, and it actually joined the Club of the 400, the club that gathers all the songs that reached 1 billion streams. It would not have been possible without the song landing into the Netflix TV show. So it gives you a proper example of a synchronization fit. Another good example is Don't Stop Me Now by Queen.
stop me, 'cause I'm having a good time, having a good time.
So you gotta know that when the original album was released, Don't Stop Me Now was not the lead single, it was not the main single that was the most commercially successful, but thanks to the biopic that was released in 2018, the song became one of the top 10 of Queen's discography. Featured in numerous commercials such in Toyota ads, Amazon, L'Oreal, it's now generating more revenue than it has been generating during the 20th century. If you just look at its stream growth, between 2013 to 2017, the song was doubling its streams year on year, but starting from 2018 and 2019, then the streams were multiplied by 3 each year. So TV shows, movies are a really good piece of example to show how a song can have more success nowadays than during its release. Another lever I'd like us to dive in are the trends, such on TikTok. A good piece of TikTok trend is the one with one of Lady Gaga's songs.
I'll dance, dance, dance with my hands, hands, hands above my head.
Bloody Mary, not one of the most famous songs by Lady Gaga, has actually become one of the most popular songs in her discography thanks to both the TikTok trend and a TV show. And when you find a way to merge both, it gets explosive. The sped up version of Bloody Mary was synchronized into the TV show Wednesday. The song, originally released in 2011, has actually peaked to 500 million streams in 2022 thanks to that TV show, but also thanks to the sped up version that launched a big trend on TikTok. It resulted in massive growth, so 500 million views on YouTube with the snippet of the TV show, creating kind of a new music video, and also reaching more than 31 million streams on Spotify. It gets us to something really interesting. It's when you can actually associate a specific song to an image you see, and it all happened to us. One example I like is Rocky Balboa. Everybody knows the song Eyes of the Tiger by Survival. The thing is, the song Eyes of the Tiger is now more associated to the film Rocky Balboa and the fact of practicing sports or getting engaged into a combat or fight. You need to get inspired and motivated. The thing is, it's not really the reason why Survivor created and recorded that song in the first place. And it happened with hundreds of songs that you have already listened to. So this is another way to see that the lifetime value of a song is not pretty much tied only to why the artist or the songwriter has created it, but it also can become associated to a specific piece of content that has cultural resonance. So I think you get it. With streaming and at the digital era, the idea of having a song lifespan at 3 months is totally outdated. Now a song can still be discovered and find new audiences with all the levers we saw. But the thing is, you and I were not discovering the song in the same way. You've probably discovered more songs thanks to your playlist or the algorithm. Maybe I will discover new music thanks to a specific influencer or some people that I look up to regarding music. Because you're not purchasing the record only once at its release, but you're still paying for it for its entire lifetime. Now the lifetime value of any song is way much longer than it was in the 20th century. I hope this video helped you to understand how the song life cycles are working and what kind of stages a record is actually going through during its whole lifetime. Feel free to drop a like and to subscribe to the channel. We have plenty of videos helping you to discover the music industry and get an understanding of the music rights.